About 3 weeks ago, as of recording this video, somebody on the Cry of Fear subreddit has made a Cry of Fear Iceberg. If you don't know what an iceberg is, it is pretty much a series of entries about a game, anime, show, etc., which contains things that you may or may not have known about and some theories. As you delve deeper into the iceberg, the entries become more darker and more mysterious. Now, I wanted to do one of these videos for the longest time, but I never found on what to make it. And as soon as somebody made a Cry of Fear Iceberg, I immediately contacted them asking if I could make a video, which they gave me full permission of. And as someone with 350 hours on the game, what a fucking loser, am I right? I am confident that I can explain this very clearly. Also, before we start, I just want to say this will contain major spoilers for Cry of Fear and Afraid of Monsters. If you haven't played these games, I highly encourage you to try them out. They are probably one of my favorite games I've ever played. Just like any other iceberg, this video is gonna have a health bar at the bottom. If the health bar is full, that means I know what I am talking about with 100% certainty. If the health bar is very low, that means I am not very knowledgeable about this, or I don't understand what the original poster was trying to say here. With that all out of the way, let's get started. Also, according to YouTube statistics, only a small percentage of you are actually Stefano. Before the game became a standalone game on Steam, it used to be a mod that you can download on ModDB, which would require you to download Half-Life. Back then, there was an Easter egg in the subway. If you ran up to this door over here by running and jumping, you would be able to open it. Inside there would be a gold statue from Amnesia, and there would also be a syringe. If you interacted with the figure, Simon would say this:
Stefano? What the fuck, PewDiePie?
And then shortly after would get attacked by a head crab from Afraid of Monsters. Now this is obviously a reference to PewDiePie. Back when he used to play Amnesia, he named the gold statue Stefano, and the head crab is actually another reference from PewDiePie back when he played Afraid of Monsters, because he named the head crab Ruben. This Easter egg has now been removed and is no longer available on the standalone game. Throughout the game, you can encounter many locations which are based on real-life locations in Sweden, the city of Stockholm. These locations include the apartments, which are actual apartments that Andreas used to live in. The Gustav Dahl Park is an actual park also in Sweden. This also includes the college that Simon attended. Hello Kitty hoodie. In the subway, when you have a flare, you can find a corpse of a kitty. This kitty is also seen in the beginning of the game, in the opening cutscene. If you interact with it 5 times, Simon will say this:
Hello, kitty.
Once you beat the game, you will unlock a Hello Kitty hoodie, which you can equip at the beginning of the game. This hoodie has been absolutely memed to death by the community. Other achievements. Honestly, I was kind of confused at what the original poster was trying to say here. Well, I asked him about it, and he said he was referring to the Unlockables. So that's what this entry is going to be about. There are a total of 30 Unlockables in Cry of Fear, excluding the MP5 that was added 3 months ago as of recording this video. These include book pages, which give you hints on how to unlock other Unlockables, outfits, and weapons. I'll be going through how to unlock each of these. As for the book pages, there are a total of 5 book pages to be found. The first page you get after finishing the game. You don't have to get a certain ending, and you don't have to do anything specific. You just have to beat the game once, on any difficulty. The second page is found under a blue band in Saxon Avenue. The third page is found in the forest, where you have to grab the doorknob and run away from the saw runner to insert the doorknob into the door to escape the saw runner. It is found along the edges of the map. It's easy to see. You used to be able to walk around freely as long as you didn't grab the doorknob, but this has been removed in 1.6a. The fourth page is found in the maintenance shafts of the subway in Chapter 4, when you have your flare. There's a corridor that has 3 fans, the middle one partially broken. You can crawl through it, and then turn left, and at the end of the hallway you'll see the book page. And the last page, the 5th page, is found after escaping the crashed train in Chapter 6. You have to go to the end of the bridge and then turn right, where there is a red car and a bunker door. Behind the bunker door you will find the final page. This bunker door is also where you get your unlockables. That's all the book pages. Now we move on to outfits. The first outfit you can find is the Half-Life Creations hoodie. You can find it in Chapter 1 in the apartments. In this video I'll show you. The 6th Simon hoodie you can find by beating the game on ending 4, which you do by killing Carcass and giving the gun to the doctor. The David Leatherhoff hoodie you get by beating the game on ending 5, which you get when you beat ending 4, get the secret package unlockable, play the game until you get to the college, insert the package into the mailbox, and then play the game. Your choice is whether you give the doctor the gun and the carcass fight are irrelevant. The Twitcher hoodie you get by killing a Twitcher with David Leatherhoff's axe in the Heaven level, which is the level you get to when you choose to do ending 5. After Simon takes the pills he finds, he will be faced with a hallway, and he has to turn either left or right. If you turn left, you will see a bunch of numbers. You have to click these numbers in the certain order. The code is 26, 16, 27, 49, 2, 32, 45, 12, and 23. A door will open and you will see a well. Inside the well, you will find the fire axe that David uses in Afraid of Monsters. This same code is also used in getting ending 4 in Afraid of Monsters. The numbers are random because they're actually on pages you find while playing the game, and it's various endings. They're supposed to spell out the word "forgive me", as on every page there is a number and a letter. The next hoodie is the ModDB hoodie. You can find it in the kitchen counter of the apartment with a broken window that lets you go to the rooftop before meeting Sophie. The Afraid of Monsters hoodie is found on a table in the college. You have to get it before grabbing the fuse, as grabbing the fuse and leaving will result in the hoodie disappearing. The camo hoodie you get by beating the game with ending 2. You do this by avoiding Carcass instead of fighting him, and giving the doctor the gun. The black metal hoodie you get by getting the first ending of the game, which you get by avoiding Carcass and not giving the Purnell the gun. The awesome hoodie you get by getting every single ending. This includes the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The Team 6 color hoodie you get by beating the game and getting ending 3. You get this by killing Carcass, but not giving Purnell the gun. And the custom hoodie you get by getting every other hoodie. You can edit this custom hoodie on Photoshop and get a very unique outfit. Now for the weapons. There aren't that many weapons in the game, but they are insanely overpowered. First off is the camera. The camera is the easiest unlockable to get out of them all. You just have to beat the game in another 2.5 hours. If you're having trouble, I will link a video showing you how to beat it easily. Pausing the game does not affect the timer, so you can watch it as you play. The next is Simon's Book, which you get by beating the game on Nightmare mode and acquiring S rank. Now this is the hardest unlockable to get, as Nightmare is extremely difficult, even with every other unlockable. And you also have to get an S rank, which means you can only save 5 times. You can't use more than 2 syringes. You have to beat the game in under 2.5 hours. You have to have an accuracy better than 90%. The FAMAS you get by beating the game in Nightmare mode. And lastly, David Leatherhoff's axe, which I've already covered. There are some also miscellaneous unlockables. The first one being the nightmare mode, which you get by beating the game normally. It doesn't matter what difficulty or ending, you just have to beat the game. The second is doctor mode, which you need to beat the game however you want. Hidden package, which is the package I mentioned that you get by beating ending 4, which you also need to get ending 5. And the gas mask, which you get by beating doctor mode. Headshot. The headshot was a mechanic in Cry of Fear that was cut out very early. It lets you kill all enemies instantly if you shoot them in the head. This is still somewhat in the game, just only works on certain enemies. Bulletproof Vest. Another cut feature of the game was an unlockable called the Bulletproof Vest. You would take less damage, but you would be slower as well. This was also cut out because the creators thought it would give the game a more action feel rather than horror. Sony Ericsson W610i. The Sony Ericsson W610i is the name of the phone that Simon uses throughout the game. It is an actual phone that Andreas had. It was made in 2007 and only weighs about 95 grams. Simon doesn't like France. In the Unlockables, if you go and pick up the FAMAS, Simon will say this.
French!
This is obviously a joke, but I guess the original poster was trying to say that Simon just doesn't like French people. I just think this is a joke. History is book. I legit don't know what they were trying to say here. Simon smokes. In the sewers, when you're trying to find the lighter, next to the lighter, there is a pack of cigarettes. You can use the lighter on the pack of cigarettes to get a little cutscene, in which Simon will take a smoke break next to the dead body. Taurus P292. The Taurus P292 was a weapon that was the first modeled weapon of Cry of Fear. You can see it in beta versions of the game, and was cut out of the game for an unknown reason. This weapon is also seen in Afraid of Monsters. Kaniner alla älskar kaniner. Throughout the city, you'll see billboards and ads on the bus stations, which will say kaniner alla älskar kaniner. This is obviously another meme they added, and has become an actual merch. Manhunt. Manhunt is a Cry of Fear co-op campaign that was a collaboration between both the creators of Cry of Fear and the Cry of Fear forum members. In this campaign, policemen that are also in the endings of Cry of Fear and the original Cry of Fear co-op campaign are now trying to locate the doctor and stop him from even becoming Simon's doctor in the first place. This campaign has been released on July 5th, 2013. M45. The M45 is a Swedish machine gun that was also cut out of the game very early for unknown reasons. The Taurus P292 model is showing the M45 gun for some reason. Radio. The radio was another cut feature of the game. In the co-op campaigns, you could actually voice chat with people by holding the radio in the game. This is also cut out for unknown reasons, unfortunately. Simon is an addict. I believe the original poster was trying to say that Simon is addicted to the antidepressants that his doctor supplies him. As Purnell mentions in his monologue, that Simon has been seeing things but couldn't give a clear description, and thought that Simon was just trying to get more pills, which he gave anyway. Simon also mentions in ND1 that he took more pills than he was supposed to, hopefully thinking he would get better.
I took a couple of extra pills this afternoon. They showed me what I had to do in this short moment of clarity.
Now, I do not think this is true. I do believe that Simon was actually seeing things and hoping that the antidepressants would help. But unfortunately, as we see, it seems it hasn't. What year? I think the original poster was trying to ask what year is Cryofear taking place. It is unknown when that is happening, but the best guess would be that it's taking place in 2013, which was when the game was made. Sixth SMS. In the game's files, you can find an additional message that would be sent to Simon while he had its phone. It reads, "Take the stairs, up, up, up. I've got something to show you." This was most likely supposed to be sent when Simon had access to the staircase in the main part of the apartments. Dr. Purnell wears a World War II gas mask. If you look up the gas masks for World War II, you can see a gas mask that is very similar to the one Purnell is wearing. If this is true, then Purnell was a World War II veteran, but I honestly kind of doubt this. Sure, maybe the design of the gas mask was based on an actual World War II gas mask, but I can see Dr. Purnell being a veteran. Kill Yourself. Kill Yourself is the name of an infamous soundtrack in Cryofear. You can hear the soundtrack on Chapter 9 if you do any combination of not giving Purnell the gun and escaping from Carcass. In this horrifying soundtrack, you can hear somebody saying the words "kill yourself," "I'm so sick in the head," and etc., which makes this entire thing even more creepier. Giant. Giant, also known as Taller, is an enemy in the game. It is this giant human that walks very slowly and can tank a lot of damage. If Taller hits the player will be knocked back and will not be able to move for a certain amount of time. And if the Taller approaches the player while he is stunned, he will stomp him and instantly kill him. Vatro boss fight. The Vatro is a cutout boss from the game. If you open the Half-Life 1 viewer, you would see that this boss is actually in the co-op campaign for Cryofear. I think this boss was supposed to solidify the fake theory that the apocalypse in Cryofear is because of a biological outbreak, which is also supposed to be implied by Purnell's line saying,
"Wait, why are you wearing a gas mask?"
Are you stupid or something? Do I look like I want to turn into one of them?
And also the various enemies that are tied up with tentacles, which are also seen on this enemy. Call 911. If you open the phone, press Z, and type in 911, you will get this. Truly, these guys have thought of everything. Purnell Space. Purnell Space in the main campaign is never seen. You can only really see it in the Doctor mode and the ending of Manhunt. It just looks like a normal person, there's not really much to say about it. Lower levels of the hotel. Once you get the key and unlock the basement and go through the 3 drowned, you find a room that has a videotape and a syringe. It has a chair in the middle, a bunch of nooses hanging from the ceiling, and blood everywhere. Once you play the videotape on the 2nd floor, you will see what actually happened. The person that has slit their wrists in the bathtub and has asked you for your help is featured in the video. He wakes up a tied man, and then he grabs garden shears and cuts his head off. He also carves the code you need to unlock the elevators onto his body. There's a lot of mystery surrounding this character that I will go through in this video. In Simon's book, the end of the world happened. It's no secret that the entire game is just Simon's book, but what actually happened in the story? From the looks of it, it looks like some sort of apocalypse. It is hinted at in more detail what actually happened here. It mostly includes these, which are called human flower, and they appear to be tying up everything and anything around them, including slowers. And Purnell, when asked about the gas mask, again, says,
Wait, why are you wearing a gas mask?
Are you stupid or something? Do I look like I want to turn into one of them?
which could hint at that you can actually turn into a monster from the oxygen around you. And at least book story wise, you could even go one step further and say that the nightmare sequences are actually a process of the monsterization, kind of like in Sweet Home. Cut soundtrack. Andreas Ronberg, the lead programmer for Cry of Fear and also the main soundtrack composer, has made a lot of cut soundtrack. I'll just include some right now. Now these were cut for unknown reasons mostly. Some of them you can kind of tell why, like being either too upbeat or just not turning out that great. Citalopram. Citalopram is a type of antidepressant that is given to people in case nothing else works, which can feel like a faint light in the darkness, but if taken too many, it could cause hallucinations. Now Simon has probably taken a bit too many of these, so he would feel better, which is why he has to fight these monsters who have the same name as antidepressants. Simon's dad. Simon's dad is the character that is known the least about. He is never mentioned in the game, never mentioned by any of the characters, and it's just almost like he doesn't exist. Some people think Simon is actually adopted, others think his dad left him, and there's a couple other theories, but I won't get into too much of them. Andreas has mentioned on the Discord server that he might be doing an actual physical book that Simon wrote in to see what he actually wrote about in it. And if that ever comes out, hopefully it'll have the answers, such as what his father was like, what his mother is like, and how he generally was doing at school. What experiments did Dr. Purnell? There's a theory floating around that Dr. Purnell was actually testing new antidepressants on Simon, or was testing something on Simon. Maybe the cognitive therapy, but I really doubt this. I think Dr. Purnell is just someone who was genuinely trying to help Simon as much as he could, but it didn't end up working, that did it? Psycho-real maniac. Now, I do not really understand what the original poster was trying to say here, but the first thing that I thought was the enemy, Psycho, and what the original poster was trying to possibly imply that this character might actually be a real killer, which I highly doubt. There is no way. Unknown living organism. The original poster was talking about this thing on the table, this yellow wriggling organism on the table. I think what they were trying to do with the living organism is that there's also one in Resident Evil 4, and it's never explained what it is. Black Day. The Black Day is what Simon calls the day that he got hit by a car. You can learn this when you listen to the Dr. Purnell's monologue.
He doesn't respond well to questions about his personal life, and became extremely angry when I mentioned events prior to what he insists on describing as the Black Day.
There's not much to say about this. It's just the name Simon gave to the night he got crippled for life. Simon's hospital. The mental hospital that Simon enters nearly at the end of the game, when he has to give Purnell the gun, is actually based off a real abandoned mental asylum that Andreas himself took pictures of to recreate in the game. It is absolutely amazing how much effort this team of 4 to 5 people put in to this game. Story Simon's book is the result of a parasite epidemic. Again, this was mentioned before in the Simon's book, The End of the World Happened. The ending of co-op mode is a dream. This is one of those theories where, you know, the good ending is actually the dream. The co-op mode is not canon. It is a more what-if scenario. Helpline. At the beginning of the second chapter, on the ground you find a ripped magazine that is completely dirty, but you can see an article talking about depression and with a hotline number on it. You can call this hotline number and you will get this.
Hello? Hello? Who is this?
Follow the path. I'll be back with you. You stop to the light. Darkness is your new monster.
What?
Number. Remember the number. The two shall remain.
What the fuck are you talking about? I need help, please!
5, 2, 4, 7.
Damn it! Help me!
Now Simon probably called this number at one point in real life, but that's really the only thing you can go off. Dr. Purnell tested new drugs on Simon. This was mentioned in Dr. Purnell experiments, that Dr. Purnell was actually testing new drugs on Simon, since none of the other ones had any effects on him. Again, I really doubt this theory is true. Purnell to me just seems like a normal person just trying to help him. Unknown caller. This is probably referring to the messages that you get at the beginning of the game, asking you to come help a man that is stuck in his apartments and monsters are coming to him, who, when you actually get to, you will find him dead. I tried calling this number and seeing if anything happened, but I got no results. Simon is one of David's victims. In Afraid of Monsters, the entire story is that David had an overdose of pills and started hallucinating intensely, and all of the people that he killed in while you were playing Afraid of Monsters were actual people. There's this one enemy in Afraid of Monsters that is in a wheelchair and is trying to kill you. So some people have theorized that this is actually Simon. They even have the same wheelchair model, but really, I just think this is just a coincidence. Simon's room in apartments. During the game, you get a few hallucinations, and you can actually see Simon's room. This room is the one that is tied police tape and chained up. You actually enter this apartment when you're trying to find the 2 fuses. Nightmare World. I think this is probably referring to the nightmare sequences throughout the game. All of them have the same pattern. Everything is covered in blood. It also features a bunch of people hanging from the ceiling, committing self-harm stuck inside cages, and many other disturbing sights. You actually play in this world during the 4th suicide map in co-op. Real photos of killing. I think this is referring to the pictures you find at the beginning of the game in the pedophile's apartment. Some people are speculating that these are actual real photos. There's a theory like this in every single Iceberg, which is always made as a joke. Notes. Notes are a mechanic in the game where you can go to your inventory and you have an option called Notes. This is where all papers that you find will go, so you can reread them anywhere. Maniac pedophile. This is referring to the apartment's pedophile in the chapter 1 of Cry of Fear, the one that messages you, and is also featured in the videotape where he beheads a tied up person with garden shears and then carves the code to the elevator on him. He is also found by Simon in the bathtub, dead, and looks like it's a suicide. Suicide. Now, I do not know what the original poster was trying to say here, as there are many moments that are related to suicide, such as, the suicide maps that the police can play through, and also the drowned enemy, which can make you shoot yourself if you're holding a gun. Hotel killings are a real case. I think the original poster was trying to say here that Simon killing himself and then killing his doctor and Sophie is an actual case, which I tried to find anything, but I couldn't. I just couldn't find any real cases. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. I highly appreciate it. As you can see, this is something entirely new from my other 2 videos, and if you guys like it, I might do something similar to this at one point, but this video took way longer than expected. I really hope that it shows and is actually a video that came out alright. Okay. And yeah. My next video is gonna be something different. It's not gonna be another Iceberg video, but it's not gonna be one of them. Get my friends over to the channel to do something. It's gonna be something more different. Again, I wanna experiment and try new things on this channel. See you in the next video, yeah? I hope you guys have been having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.